Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of To the Magic and Beyond. I am Jordan here with my co-host Michelle.
Hello.
Hello. We are so excited to be back with you guys for another episode. We just kind of wanted to go over something that I feel like for some people it feels like a best kept secret. They don't really know it's there, and for other people they can not go there when they go on a Disney visit. Or if you're like me, even when you go to Florida and you're not visiting Disney, you still at least have to go here
exactly
to get a Disney fix. But today we wanted to talk to you guys about Disney Springs, which is down in Orlando, Florida, with all of the Walt Disney World stuff. And it's just something where if you have an off day from the park, or you just want a little bit of a Disney fix, but you don't have park tickets, it's a great place to go. There's so much there, food, entertainment, shopping, that we just kind of wanted to go over that with you guys. So if you haven't been before, you can hear some of the stuff that you're missing, or if you have been, maybe you'll hear something new that you didn't know was there.
Yeah, because it's changing every day.
All the time.
It's ginormous.
Yes.
And so when you think about your off day, just be careful.
True. It's
because
still a lot of walking.
you will get your steps in. Not maybe a Magic Kingdom day, but we always use it for an off day. And then sometimes, as you said, like when I'm just on vacation in Central Florida in the winter, when I like to go, like February, when the blues got you here in Tennessee, go down and get warm, and you can get your Mickey bar. You can get some ice cream.
Merchandise.
Occasionally a Dole Whip. I will say this, they have had a Dole Whip
sometimes,
at Swirls on the water before. So, but just some ice cream, but just some Disney popcorn buckets, and a ton of Disney merchandise, right?
Yep.
So,
and so much more, not just Disney merchandise.
Yeah, exactly. And I think,
it's just a super awesome, fun place to go and hang out. When I lived in Orlando, we would go there all the time, just as a shopping area, or just to go out to dinner. Or I'll be honest, when we had prom, we went to dinner at Disney Springs.
Again, Disney Springs has high-end dining.
Yes.
Middle of the road, and then the quick service. So you can do anything that you want to do, or snack your way around there as well.
Yes.
But there's bakeries, there's coffee places, there's everything you want to do. There entertainment.
Are over 70 places to dine at Disney Springs. Yeah, I looked that up today because I was like, it feels like there's a lot. Because you can just, anywhere you're walking, there's probably, whether it's a snack shack or, like you said, a high-end restaurant or something, there are 70 different places just in Disney Springs alone to eat at. So, again, we're not going to come close to covering all of those.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock. 70 places.
I know.
Yeah.
And we've been there a lot. Like, we've walked around, but it's kind of mind-boggling when you think of 70 different places that you could eat there.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's just such a fun place to go. And every time you go, you can find something new, or you can hit up your old favorites. I know for us, my husband and I, every time we go down there, we have to go to Deluxe Burger.
It's great.
It's so good. D-Lux Burger. It's kind of in the middle, kind of hidden. You do have to know where it is to find it. You're probably not going to stumble upon it.
Kind of blends in.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, I don't want to hype it up too much, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the best burgers that I have ever had.
Took my best friend, have a friend that I've been friends with since I was 9. Her favorite food, cheeseburgers.
Yes.
Like, cheeseburger for breakfast, cheeseburger for dinner. Jenny, if you're listening, she loves some cheeseburgers. And so when I took her to Disney 2 Octobers ago, October 23, that was the place I planned on taking her at Disney Springs because I knew she'd love it.
Yes.
And they're huge.
Yes.
Like the burgers are huge, just a large amount of fries.
But somehow like not messy. That was one thing that surprised us, because typically you go to a burger place and it's a great burger, but like it's all over your hands, especially when they're like the specialty burgers with, I think the one I got was like pimento cheese and a fried green tomato on it and a special sauce. And like I was expecting it to be messy. Just super messy, and it like wasn't. I don't know how they do it.
And they're made fresh back there. And it is it is one of those counter services that sometimes it kind of feels like a sit down.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they actually bring your food to you.
Yeah.
Just kind of depends on the time of year and how busy. And they have all those sauces.
Yes.
Over
that
there
I was going to say, the sauces.
They have that garlic, truffle-y kind of sauce over there.
I love a good truffle
ranch,
aioli.
They have everything.
So good. Yeah.
All of it's good. And it's reasonable.
Yeah. Very reasonable priced.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just a good solid burger place if you're not wanting anything that's like a big fancy sit down or maybe a little level above like a very quick service restaurant. It's a great one to go to. And like I said, not quite where you can just stumble upon it, so that's why we wanted to shout it out, because it's worth going to find it.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's probably, it's been there quite some time now. And so I think it still has a huge following.
Yes.
Plenty of seating. We always talk about that.
Seating.
Indoor with the air conditioning.
Yes.
Outside with the fans. We eat outside on the porch a lot.
Yes.
I think we've eaten inside a couple times too. But yeah, you can't go wrong with it. And like I said, and it's has mobile order.
Yes, which is always
we've not
a plus.
talked about that, I don't think, on a podcast yet. But it's a plus if you want to order it. That way it can be ready when you get there.
Don't want to stand in line.
Yeah. So it's a good choice.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. Like I said, we usually don't miss it.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, 70 places to eat. I joked about going to prom dinner there, but there's a Planet Hollywood, and for our senior prom we went to Planet Hollywood before our prom. It's also a great place. Usually reservations recommended for that one because it's a very popular brand. Obviously there's other Planet Hollywoods in the country, but that's always a fun place to go if you're looking for a kind of more touristy thing. Like they've got that, like, again, just another level of a restaurant that you can go to, have a fun experience
and
at.
I think, didn't Guy Fieri, they redid the menu there. But one of the great things, just again, little tidbit, it's really good. They have a LA fried lasagna that is, anything fried, right?
Yes.
But it's good. Like, it's very tasty.
Yeah.
But a broad menu there too. But especially for, I would say anybody would find anything that they would like there. And it's fun.
Yeah. Pro tip, if you like chicken fingers, I believe it's an appetizer now, but it still comes with fries. But they have chicken fingers and fries, and the chicken fingers, the breading is like a Captain Crunch coating.
Really?
It's so good.
There you go.
Yeah. That's all of us little prom kids went and got the chicken finger appetizer.
I gotcha. Fun though.
Yeah, super fun restaurants like that. And then of course it's not just your main restaurants. There's dessert places. There's bakeries.
Yes.
I think Gideon's Bakery is one of the new hot ticket items. I haven't been, but I think, have y'all stopped by it before?
We have. My older daughter Courtney, who will probably be making some appearances on the podcast from time to time because she's a Disney lover but loves Gideon's.
And one of our producers.
Yes. It is. And Gideon's is, like for me, it's not so much for me. The coffees, people that love them. They're sweet. I think there's a peanut butter cold brew that she thinks is amazing. There's usually some desserts there. And so, but there's going to be a line. There's going to be a queue. You may have to actually, it's a little bit
Is it a
different.
virtual queue
think
sometimes?
So. Depending upon how busy things are, you could have to do that. But that sprinkles.
Yeah, the
like
sprinkles cupcakes. Yeah, I would have to shout out. Speaking of good coffees, last time we were there, we went to a place called Everglazed, which they're more famous for their think those like kind of over the top donuts, right? You can get Captain Crunch on them, or like kind of those big donuts. But they also have really good coffees. I am not a super big fan of coffee itself, but you put a bunch of sugary things in it, and that's my jam.
Gotcha.
And they have a cookies and cream cold brew that was like, to this date, probably one of the best coffees that I personally have ever had. So there's like plenty of options there, which is exciting. And again, you can go every time. Salt and Straw, I believe, is an ice cream place there that's got a lot of unique flavors. Sometimes I think a line for that one because they've got some specialty stuff.
There's a new place called Cake Bake.
Oh, Oh.
So kind of high end.
Okay.
There's one up or two actually in Indiana.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and it's been open there for a little bit. Haven't been. Have some friends from Indiana.
Yeah.
And so they were telling me, because I went to Indiana last year to see Caitlin Clark, like everyone else, and
Caitlin.
Way to go, Caitlin. So while we were up there, they were like, try, if you get in, if you're around it, try to go there. And then, like right after that, we found out there was going to be one in Disney Springs.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
I've heard it's pricey.
Okay.
A little bougie.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
But if that's up your alley, there for you if you want to try to get it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, there's new stuff going on
all the time.
And the cool thing is, it is sometimes chains from around other places. It's not just Disney specific stuff, which is fun. So you might find a little taste from home sometimes. You spoke of Guy Fieri earlier. He actually has a chicken place there called Chicken Guy. So you've got so many options. That's not even, obviously we said there's 70 restaurants.
Yeah.
So we mentioned in an earlier podcast that you've got Rainforest Cafe there. Yep. On the flip side of that, same company, I believe, that owns them, they have the T-Rex restaurant. So if you've got kiddos and you want a fun themed restaurant like that, you can go there.
Which place has the volcano?
I think that's the Rainforest Cafe.
Is that the Rainforest?
Yeah, because
it kind of erupts.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if you don't eat there, you can watch the volcano. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's across the pond.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So I mean, lots and lots to do there for eating wise, and then you've got shopping.
Well, I was going to say, as a former Florida resident,
yeah,
I'm assuming if you lived around there, I mean, there's a ton of different malls, right?
Right.
There's some high-end shops there. I mean,
very, and it didn't used to be that way. I mean, like the Disney Springs used to be called Downtown Disney of old. Was very simple. It had a lot of the different stuff, but then they did this massive expansion, and now they've added all this stuff where it almost kind of feels like a big outlet store almost in a way.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you've got stores like, if you like Coach bags, they've got a shop there. Kate Spade is there. Kendra Scott, Pandora, Sephora, Fabletics. If you're a guy and you like the Columbia sports stuff, they've got a store there. I think there's even an Under Armour store.
Yeah, there is.
So I mean, like
Lululemon is now there.
Lululemon is there. So literally anything you could want to shop for, you've got all of those stores. But then, being near Disney, you also have the largest Disney store.
World of
Disney is there.
Those are the stores that I happen to know about. I do know Vera Bradley's there.
Yes.
Because they have a Disney line there.
They do.
So when you're there, you can get some Disney stuff. But yeah, the World of Disney, it's almost overwhelming.
It can be.
Even for us Disney folks that are going all the time.
So much merchandise in there.
Because you just want it all.
Yes.
And it's big.
Yeah. And it's a good place to go. Like if sometimes you see things at the beginning of your trip and you're at the parks, right? Yeah. And you don't buy it. Now, every once in a while, there is very park-specific merch that, unfortunately, you can't get if you leave the park. But chances are, a lot of what you're going to see is also in the World of Disney there. So if you felt like, oh, I really liked this shirt I saw at this park, you're probably going to be able to find it there, which makes it great as like a secondary souvenir option to go back and finally get that shirt that you decided you wanted. And not only that, but they've got other themed stores throughout Disney Springs. So there's a Star Wars store.
Yeah.
There's a Marvel store. Like just very specific merchandise if that's up your alley. And those stores are fun to just walk through and see what they've got. And then you mentioned with Vera Bradley, like a lot of the shops, because they're in Disney Springs, some of them have Disney specific lines or merch that you can't get anywhere
Columbia
else.
had a line, has had a couple lines actually of Disney products.
Yeah. So it's just really cool to get to walk around and see all of those different shops and kind of have a special Disney-fied version of them.
Well, and if you're on the dining plan, you can use that at most of the restaurants.
Yes, most of the restaurants will accept the dining plan, which is great.
If you are a Chase Visa holder, you can get a discount if you use your Chase. Annual pass holders.
Yep. Get your most stores will give you that.
There's going to be a few that don't.
Yep.
So that's a great thing. But I think we were on a trip in October together when we went, or September. And didn't you get a phone case?
Yes. So they also have there's a line that Disney has called D-Tech phone cases. You can't buy them online. Like, it's literally the only place you can get them is in the parks or at the shop. And so they have also there, it's like a co-op marketplace type thing.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, and so it's a bunch of different kind of unique Disney branded stuff that you can't really get other places. And so it's kind of my guilty pleasure, but usually when I go there, because I know I can't get it online, right? It's exclusive.
Exactly.
So I usually go and I get a cute little phone case. So my current phone case is all the characters and main Disney crew and their autographs. And I can't help but go because they're so cute and they're very well made too, which is cool. So yeah, I personally love going to Disney Springs because I just love finding the little unique merchandise items that you might not be able to find online or elsewhere that you go. So
yeah, I mean, and I think that parking's free.
Yes, which is great. So if you have your own vehicle or if you live local, parking is free. They have 3 different parking garages. They're called the Lime, Orange, and Grapefruit Garage. Not sure why we've got fruit themes, but that's what they're called.
Well, at least there's a citrus in there.
Right. Yeah, at least the orange got in there. But they have 3 different parking garages. So you've got covered parking, always plenty of parking. I've never seen it not have spaces. And very well, there's signs that tell you where you need to go. Some of them have weird like one-way things, but if you just follow the signage, it's pretty easy to find your way in. The garages are super high-tech, so they've got the little lights above the parking spaces that have like, if it's red, there's cars in it, or green, so you can like look down and be like, nope, nothing down there. So easy to maneuver parking garages. But then also if you're a resort guest, Disney bus transportation will take you over there. Although you and I have talked many times that out of all of the transportation from the resorts, the Disney Springs one can be a little bit slower.
A little bit. And it's not others. I think sometimes if you stay at value resorts or, off property, whatever, that sometimes you're convinced that the deluxe accommodations at Disney, because they do have extra perks that I think in our heads sometimes we think the extra means perfect.
Right.
And I had an experience at a deluxe resort trying to catch a bus to Disney Springs, and there was a lot of unhappy people that spent a lot of money that I didn't spend. I had just been over hanging out at that resort. I didn't pay to stay there. So we ended up taking a minivan. Yeah. It was, I had the money. It was okay. I kind of wanted to take one. That was the first time I ever took one. Yeah. It was neat. Yeah. I think it was about, I don't know, $40. So you can get a lift way cheaper. But if you want to take the Lyft mini van, which FYI, not a van, SUV, but anyhow, yeah, I felt like, it's just, there's going to be a struggle somewhere, right? And sometimes it's those buses.
And if it has to be, understandably, I'd rather have them be more efficient getting you to and from the parks.
Correct.
So it's understandable that getting over to Disney Springs, sometimes in general, I think they run less of them than they do the parks. So you're probably going to have about 15, 20 minutes in between buses. So if you just missed one, settle in.
Put your patient pants on. Yes.
Or like you said, grab a lift or something to get you over there.
And there is, talking about where you're at, there's a special ride share section.
Yes.
Where they're going to drop you off and pick you up over there at Springs. But I mean, if you feel like driving, you're not going to have any problem.
Yeah. Very easy. If you do drive and you come in through the parking garages, you will have to go through security.
Yes.
Very
and that
similar.
Includes strollers.
Yes. And your strollers. So just think, if you wouldn't bring it to the park, probably shouldn't bring it with you to Disney Springs if you're going to go through the parking garage. Usually coming in through the buses, you just walk by the security guard and they have the dog out that kind of sniffs. The
sniffer dog.
But you're not going to go through a metal detector or things like that.
And don't try to pet the dog.
Right. As much as,
and I may or may not know about that.
If you are watching this podcast live, my jersey has all of the Disney dogs on it. So it's very hard to not pet the cute little dog that's working. Yes. But we have to let them be.
Yes, because they're on the job and they're very serious. Yes. Their handlers are very serious.
Exactly.
Well, Jordan, what if I'm in the area, or it's a rainy day, I don't have a park ticket, what are some of the entertainment type things that you could do at Disney Springs?
That's a great question, because that's also something they have a lot of. One of the biggest things, perfect rainy day activity, is they have a massive AMC movie theater there.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like a 24 theater. They've got it's like the dine-in setup. So if you want to have lunch or dinner while you're eating, you can order food, and they've got the loungy chairs and stuff. Or if you don't want to, obviously you don't have to, you can just go to the movie.
Right.
Super nice movie theater, gonna have all of your options there. So that's great to get to do. They have a Cirque du Soleil there.
Okay.
I think the current show is Drawn to Life.
Oh.
But that's an awesome, it'd obviously be a special ticketed event that you would need to get tickets to, but also a good indoor activity for the day. And then they also have a Splitsville, which is a restaurant / bowling alley combination. And again, similar with movie theater, you can just go to bowl. You could also just go there to eat if you wanted to. Or
do both.
Combine.
I gotcha.
So again, just a little bit of everything depending on what your family needs. If you want to be brave, there is a hot air balloon that you can go up in.
Yeah, it used to be like $20 per person to go up. So I don't know.
I'm not sure the price.
I don't know what the price
anymore.
is, but it just goes up.
And
guys,
it's
it just goes
tethered.
up. It goes up and comes back down.
You just go up and you sit there for a little bit and you come back down. But if you ever wanted the thrill of being in a hot air balloon without it being freely out there, it would be a good opportunity to go on. And if you like live music, a lot of evenings they've got music going on at various parts of downtown or of Disney Springs, and they also have like a really big amphitheater kind of over by the World of Disney where they usually do like dance parties and stuff like that.
I think some schools sometimes do choir, band kind of performances.
When I was in choir, we went and performed over there. So if you're interested in having your school choir or your school band perform there, have your choir teachers or band teachers reach out and see about that opportunity, because that's always pretty cool.
That's cool. And a trip to ride some rides.
Right.
Go have some fun.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
We've both gotten to experience that aspect of having a school go down there. But so they also have a Coca-Cola store there.
Oh, yes, they do.
It's like multi-level. You can try the different Cokes.
And I think up on top, isn't that where
they have like the rooftop area.
We would call it a bar, but it's Coca-Cola.
Yes. And I think you can also meet the Coca-Cola bear there at certain times of day.
That's nice.
Yeah. So those are some fun little activities that you can do. Bring the kiddos over, get a picture with the Coca-Cola bear. Try out some different Cokes, get you some merch.
And the Lego store.
Yes,
Talking about kids,
like
if
you're
into
store.
Legos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have some really cool Lego displays that are set up. There's a dragon that's literally in the water.
Yep.
Been there for as long as I can remember.
I was there when it was downtown Disney, I think.
Yeah. Don't understand how it's still there.
It's not eroding by water.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. All of them.
So Lego store for all you Lego fans. But yeah, it really is like just no end of entertainment, and it's just a fun way to get a little extra Disney in your life, but also maybe get in some shopping that you would like to do that you normally wouldn't have at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a Lacoste there.
Yeah.
And I know there's a Savannah Bee Company. I don't get to the other side. I know you and I have talked about it, and you kind of make a loop all the way around.
Yeah.
I tend to come in where the Disney transportation drops you off, or where the parking garage is, and
which
I kind of
feels
stay
more like
there.
the Disney side.
Yes, I consider that all just Disney.
Yes,
and so you can kind of go up and down through there. There's a couple fountains and some different things in there, but I know there's like the Ganachery is somewhere. Over there, and has specialty candies and bakery
There's
things.
There's a Ghirardelli ice cream and chocolate shop, which always smells so good when you walk by.
I could have some of that right now.
Yes, and they're always opening new restaurants. There's a House of Blues there that a lot of times puts on concerts. That's kind of on the other side. So yeah, it does kind of feel like it's two sides. I feel like with their expansion, they did a good job of kind of conjoining it together. I feel like it used to feel a lot more like side A and side B.
Right.
But now there's kind of stuff in the middle. But I mean, like you said, just staying on that one side by Disney, though, is still by the Disney store is a lot of walking.
Right.
Just within that
I was
area.
going to say, I'm probably on that side 3-4 hours.
Yeah. So you can spend 3-4 hours there and only see that one side of it, but you still feel like you got a full day out of it.
You got a full day, or you got as much as you want. Some people go and just eat.
Yes.
Some people just, shop a little bit. Some people are going to go for some entertainment. Florida residents are going to treat it a little different
a little more
than your touristy people. They're going to have things that they do. But how cool to have something like that be free. I mean, shopping is not free, guys.
Whatever money you spend.
All the shops cost money. And the restaurant.
Parking and transportation included.
And then just people watching. I mean, it's really cool just to kind of hang out and walk around. It's just another one of those things that I think Disney has done that you can do however you want.
Yes.
I mean, some people, we went in October with our friends that had the 2 littles and then a teen, and it was a lot. I mean, and cool tip. If you're there in like the balloon, so what kid doesn't like a balloon? Right. So you can get them at Disney Springs. Right. So a lot of people, they're in the theme parks, the Mickey shaped balloons, right? But a lot of times parents are like, I don't want to deal with a balloon all day at the parks. Because some of us that are even grown, like me, sometimes get a balloon, especially in the hotel, because I use it to keep the air on flowing because they're motion sensitive. And so it's got the cute little Mickey weight, which is like 2 souvenirs in one. It's a little Mickey head. And so, but you can get your kid a balloon there.
Yeah, that's a good pro tip. Get the balloon without
and if you want a popcorn bucket, but you're not really, some people don't like to carry those at the parks, but they want the bucket. Yes. A lot of times, a couple of the styles they'll have, not all of them, and they're not going to have party exclusives.
Specialty,
yeah. So, but just a tip. I mean, you can get those there and your favorite Mickey treats, and have a good time, or you can have a high-end night and be at one of those more luxurious restaurants.
Yep.
You do you.
Yeah, lots of options for whatever you want that day to be. So we just kind of wanted to fill you guys in on what we feel like is a super fun alternative option. Like we said, whether you're at the parks and you want kind of an off day to explore things, or if you're just in the Orlando area on some other business and you want a little taste of Disney, it's a really great and fun way to spend the day with the family.
Yeah, we love it, and we hope you do too.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts if you do go check it out. Let us know if you have any good coffees or ice creams or restaurants that we should check out.
I can always use an extra snack.
Because there's so many restaurants we haven't tried yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's only 70.
I know. 70.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully that was informative for you guys. And we had fun talking about it. And I already can't wait to go back. So
yeah.
Already planning my next trip there.
Always planning our next trip.
But thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. We appreciate it as always. If you'll follow us on social media, we've always got little things on there that we're posting, like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things. This has been To the Magic and Beyond. We'll see you next time.